Choke slam off the porch. Who else said that on loud? What up? What up? What up? What's happening, y'all? We back in the building for another one. SBO Terror in the building. Of course, we're gonna get started with a collective reading. As y'all come in, tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, donate to reciprocate. Remember, everything that you donate goes directly to food, shelter, and water. Alright, so we're gonna be asking a question to Tarot. How do we move forward from no contact situations? All right. This is one not even gonna lie. This is one of the most requested. This is probably one of the most requested topics that I get or have gotten over my YouTube career. Okay, I like that better. So I need to measure this out since we're live. Let me see. So boom. Now how visible is this? Actually pretty visible. Alright, we're 3 minutes in, so let's go ahead and get started with this collective reading. Thank you for whoever liked the part. Alright, so I want to do a bonus reading for this. I want to do a bonus reading today. And to be honest with you, the bonus reading is really just here to check. Ooh, hold on, I'm pressing stuff. Hold on. Welcome in, y'all. So we about to get started. I accidentally started pressing stuff on the computer. No. All right, there we go. All right, we back. All right. So, like I was saying, I want to welcome in. What's up, y'all? We got 19 people. Come on, double tap that screen. Pretty please, please double tap that screen, please. This is going to be the greatest tarot reading of all time. I guarantee it. All right. So, like I was saying, um, talk. Give me 1 second, Sean. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the inspiration for tonight's live while I shuffle the cards. All right. So the inspiration for tonight's collective reading was no contact situations is one of the most requested um topics, public and private readings in my YouTube career so far since what October 2023, right? So with that being said, a lot of people are very aware of what they need to move on from. It's the how to. Even if they just need a little tweaking in perspective, it's the how to that's really important. All right. So we're going to ask the question to tell how to move forward. Okay. So I'm going to do a bonus reading right now, and I'm going to ask the love oracle cards. Just for anything about the current feelings, emotions, situations, circumstances, anything that we can see. Okay. So the first card is mistakes, misunderstood, victim. and lost soul. Okay. So the first card is mistake. Second card, shallow, hollow, empty, bored. Okay. And the last card is going to be sorrow, loss, grief, and depression. All right. So I want to take a quick look at these. I want to take a quick look at these cards a little bit closer, and the reason why I say that is because what's up, country? What's up? How you doing? Welcome here to SVOTarot.com. All right, late night edition, candlelight edition. Oh. All right, so I wanted to check. Just this is a bonus reading, y'all. So please double tap that screen, y'all. I wanted to check the current energy of the situations and circumstances surrounding said relationship, no contact, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And so, uh, judging by the way, all right, that song in my head, I really think that's a good song sonically, and the lyrics is okay. All right, so we got the mistakes card here. Followed by shallow and sorrow. What I like to do with these cards is I like to take the different words or phrases that's associated with these cards. Let me see the candle. I should want to swing the candle around here. Yeah, boy. All right, there we go. Okay, so what's standing out to me about these three cards is like victim, but not victim, but lost soul and misunderstood in the first one. Hollow and empty. And on the sorrow card, the sorrow, but also the grief and depression and loss is standing out to me. And you can, what I like to do again is just rearrange them and make see what makes sense to you as the individual. But what I'm seeing here for the collective that there's somebody on our mind, on our heart, and we've been thinking twice about them. But unfortunately, they wasn't grown, or maybe you wasn't grown, maybe we wasn't grown up in a particular area, and in this particular area probably caused us to separate from somebody, or maybe even not even get close to somebody, right? But well, I guess it ain't really no but. um I think that, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, that one or both parties might have made mistakes before, during, and after. And what these mistakes is leaving us feeling like we need to apologize, like we need to make things right, like we need to reach out. Oh, and sometimes we gotta remind ourselves that we could just be craving love, right? Oh, sometimes when you crave love, you tend to miss the last person you love. That's just really the closest reference your body had to love, right? So be careful with that. But it's leaving us feeling shallow, like there's something that we could do. And what I'm feeling here is that even though we might be feeling sorrow about the separation or whatever happened, it's probably best, at least for right now, couple months, whatever. But it's probably best that we go our separate ways, okay? Especially if we dealing with situations and circumstances that's like 3 months, 6 months, no contact, shit like that. Like I gotta stop cussing. We ain't even 10 minutes in. Um, Sorry, algorithm, please forgive me. All right, sorry, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, by the way, for the blanket. I'm doing well, country man. I can't complain. I'm especially grateful you came through and raised the property value a little bit around here. Um, but thank you for blessing us with your presence. So that cussing threw me off. Where was I at? It's probably best we let it go, especially if we've been dealing with a no contact or like a off and on, hot and cold situation for weeks, months, years. Like once it gets to that point to where it's like you being left on hold, text messages not being responded to, stuff like that. It's sometimes we gotta save ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Or save the person from happening to say something. All right. So now to the how to. All right. So that was the bonus reading for this, just checking the energy. And like I said, if we still feeling sorrow, if we still feeling like we gotta reach out, if we still feel like maybe I was young, immature, maybe I was hurt from a previous situation and I made some mistakes, one thing we can do is meditate on that. Of course, deep breathe. You know what I'm gonna say, right? But beyond that, we can visualize the situation and circumstance um being healed, smoothed over. Whether you got to apologize or whether somebody got to apologize to you, go into meditation. Figure out what would it feel like, what would it look like, what would you guys be, what would you talk about, etc., etc., etc. Uh, and give yourself closure or visualize yourself giving the other person, sorry, closure, even though you might not be able to, at least for right now. All right. So we got to shake those feelings off. Those maybe I made a mistake, maybe it was a mistake leaving, or whatever the case is. We got to shake all of that off, y'all. All right. So here go why we came here. All right. So if y'all want to be added to the list, free or donation based readings, y'all already know what to do. Go ahead and type move on. Now you don't have to get a reading on this particular subject, but I do recommend it. All right. So the first card we got here on how to move forward is the two of cups. Very interesting. All right. Spirit is gonna challenge me tonight. All right, so Spirit got a very strong message here tonight. The two of cups just in general represents a budding connection, divine union. This could be within yourself or it can be interpersonal between people. The Ace of Swords is here. Okay, so this is um potential and or like new ideas. What else is associated with new ideas? How can I forget this? It's on the tip of my tongue, literally. Uh New ideas, epiphanies, like aha moments, um a download, an idea, a strategy, a new belief, a new path. Oftentimes, the Ace of Swords is bringing us the ability to start a new path. And then the third card that we have here is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so we got the Eight of Wands here. Let me scoot this over. Let me scoot this over. All right. So we got the Eight of Wands here. So when we talking about, so it's two things. Welcome to I was almost said it. Welcome to SBO's Tarot School. All right. So in tonight's Tarot School, we are going to be combining a three-part. We are going to be combining three parts, okay? So we got three cards here on a how-to reading, right? That's one nuance. And then the second nuance of the reading is it's going to be a how-to dealing with the emotional side of life. And what's very unique about this, what I really love is I love when I might call on a love reading and then I get some cups. Maybe I'll call on a money reading and I get, sorry y'all, I wanted to sit down. I was standing up for a minute. All right, so I call up for money reading and then I get some pentacles, etc., etc. Okay. So this is going to be kind of a bit of a challenge for me once I actually Ooh, that's cold. Okay. Once I actually tune into the cars, it's really going to be a challenge. And the reason why I say it's going to be a challenge, not because I don't know the cars or I can't get the combination, it's really a challenge because I want to give the best advice possible, right? I really think it's important to tap into the practical side of tarot, the how to side, right? A lot of people use insight to give clarity, which is fine. But I don't see a lot of healing in the community. I see a lot of gossip. I see a lot of etc. going on, right? And and you know me, man. I need progress. I need results. You understand? So looking at these cards, if you want, I can zoom in. Thank you, cameraman. So first of all, when we dealing with love, the Two of Cups could represent a situation or a circumstance that maybe didn't really get off the ground. Even if you was together 10 years, the relationship didn't reach a still. Like you got stuck in a honeymoon phase, for example. Or it could just mean that there is a honeymoon phase about to happen. Okay. The Ace of Swords to me, right now, I understand everybody read different, right? But in a love reading, the Ace of Swords to me can represent how can I put this in words? The ability, possibly the ability to manifest the things that you want in the particular said situation. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to go through that because we're doing the how to. Okay, so the Two of Cups, when you're talking about a how to, right? Um, the Two of Cups is giving us instructions on clearing emotional blockages. And how do you do that? How it's instructing us to do that is by way of connecting with something, someone, a new thing, and having a healthy relationship. And this healthy relationship is going to lead to healing, right? If you notice here in the card, we have the caduceus, and the caduceus represents it's an ancient. I don't know if it's ancient Kemet or whatever, but it represents healing. It represents the Kundalini, Shiva Shakti energy, rising up the spine and meeting at the top, right? So the first best course of action is to reconnect with something that you love. That could be nature, that can be crystals. Maybe you might even want to read other people, but you need to only your right, which best use your words, use your third eye, right? The Ace of Swords again. The Ace represents a beginning. It represents potential. It represents something. Particular case when you're dealing with the swords, I like to lean towards the something new. Um, and then when you're dealing with the swords, remember that's the air element. So when we're dealing with the air element is going to tell us that we are dealing with the mental plane, right? So that's going to be like your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown, Bendu, etc. Um, hmm. So the first two cards here is relatively low. They equal the number three. Altogether, it's the number 11. So I'm definitely seeing a gateway, a new beginning. And this is going to be something that's going to be curated from our very own third eye. Maybe you thought you wasn't magical. Maybe you thought you didn't have the ability to pray for things or to manifest. Maybe you didn't think you was God's favorite. I don't know. But the message here is it's time to change that. It's time for us to not just be a leaf blown in the wind, but it's actually time for us to sit down and plan things out. Even if you don't, before you even get to the planning, it's okay for you to sit down and say, what do I want? Right? I got a job, I got a car, whatever. Or if you need those things, put that to the list. But what do I want? I want a relationship. I want more money. I want this. I want that. Even if you don't know how you're going to get those things per se, step by step, verbatim, you're going to have to at least have an idea of what you want. That's the first step, is figuring out what you want. Who is that? Hello, friend. Welcome to the chat. How you doing? I'm just finishing up the collective reading. Please double tap that screen, hit the like button. So, the number 11 is here, okay? Um, and then when we dealing with this Ace of Swords, I'm sorry, when we dealing with this Eight of Wands, I really love this Eight of Wands when we talking about the actionable steps of moving forward, because this typically represents like swift action, um, desires hitting at once. Maybe you was at a drop. What is the Seven of Wands again? Okay, yeah. So the Seven of Wands is strife. Um, the Seven of Wands is like kind of a person being pushed to their limits. They kind of like in a defensive position, looking possibly caught off guard. And so when you're dealing with when you're dealing with the progress from the seven to the eight, it's almost like night and day, where everything was going wrong. You couldn't catch a break, right? You was tired, worn out, and then boom, you get three good things that happen in a row or whatever. You hit big on the lottery, something. But this Eight of Wands is saying that for one, the things that we really want and the things that we see with our third eye and the things that we feel with our heart, right? Because we got brain heart coherence. Well, I guess you could say heart brain coherence because of the Two of Cups representing the water element. So with the brain heart coherence, it's going to allow us to find so what I'm saying is that we're going to catch ourselves and people. Well, pause. We're going to catch ourselves mingling with people or in situations and circumstances where we feel like we are in alignment. I do see alignment coming out of the situation for us. And it's really going to be contingent on how well can you, one, get in tune with your imagination. That's something I don't talk about enough on this channel, right? How well can you get in tune with your imagination, one, and two, how motivated are you to take the steps that's going to be needed to get to where you're going, to get to Z, even when you don't feel like it, right? How much are you willing to sacrifice for something that you can't necessarily see the benefit for today? You understand what I'm saying? We need to ask ourselves these questions. Please double tap that screen, hit the like button. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and wind this reading down because we've been going for about 30 minutes. So yeah, so that's course of action on moving forward from a hot cold situation, on off situation, maybe even a no contact situation. For one, talk to your heart. Figure out what's going to make your heart happy. Get in tune with yourself. And then you create the path. You lay down the foundation, right? And if I can give you steps, the foundation would go figuring out what Z is, right? A is who I am and where I'm at right now. Z is we put equal sign and Z, right? Because Z is the destination, that's the goal. So we know what A is, we know who we are, we know where we at, etc., and we know Z. So we gotta solve for X. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like a algebra problem where we get two bits of information and we just got to fill in the middle, right? So we got point A and we got point Z. We just got to figure out B, etc. And sometimes all those steps is not going to be sequential. Sometimes they're not going to be obvious. Sometimes it's not going to be easy. But the thing is that are you willing to move forward? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to love? Are you ready to be happy? And if the answer is yes to even one of those, then brain heart coherence is going to be key. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor. If anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns, if not, then we can go ahead to any individual readings. Double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We have free individual general readings. If you want to ask a question, that's fine. You don't have to donate. This is the home of the free tarot readings. If you guys would like to get a reading, the only thing you got to do is type move on. You don't have to get a reading based on tonight's collective reading, which is no contact situations. But I am open to no contact situation questions. If you guys are looking for some advice. All right. So I'm gonna pull me a couple cards real quick as we transition over to the chat. And I want to see what it say. Blow the whistle. Realizations, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings. Mm. Oh, that is so funny. That's on the money. All right, y'all. So last call for alcohol. We about to be in and out burger tonight. Hold on, my phone did ring. Hold on. So we have an incognito reading. All right. So I just got a text message. I've been got the text message that somebody is requesting a reading. All right. Let's go ahead and see. This is going to be interesting. I always love doing these type of readings. I ain't even gonna lie to you. All right. I'm gonna pull you two cards upon your request. Double tap that screen, hit that like button. I got one incognito reading. So after that, you guys, there's no waiting. So this person, two of wands, then the lovers card. Hmm. So I'm seeing a strong obsession here. Um, and in this uh obsession that I'm seeing, it's like we can't get out of the circle. And it's almost like we can't figure out why. But I think the reason why you can't succeed at what it is that you're obsessed with is because, for one, you might be in the wrong lane. And two, and the reason why I say wrong lane is because I don't think that what you're doing is meant for you. I think that this Two of Wands is really letting us know that what we looking forward to, there is a distance from it, right? Because now if it was the Two of Cups going into the Lover's card, whole different ball game. You understand what I'm saying? But because it is the Two of Wands, it, the Two of Wands carry the energy of planning for the future. And so my thing is that even if you do succeed, or even if you do get what you want, what's next? Like, what are you really planning out? Are you really thinking this through, or are you just doing this because you can't give up? And I don't want to put your business out there, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with a healthy obsession, but what is the fruit of your labor? What fruit are you going to bear from the work that you put in? Because at the end of the day, it's about the work, right? It's about the benefit, right? Don't nobody do nothing for no reason. So my thing is that maybe you're not successful because maybe you need to start doing readings. I think you need to switch. I think you need to switch. I think this Two of Wands is really saying that you need to switch timelines. That maybe you need to do readings, maybe you need to do coaching, maybe you need to do whatever. But I think, what is it? You are an independent contractor, right? Guess that's a way of putting it. That's a safe way of saying it without giving up too much information. But as an independent contractor, it's nothing even wrong with being an independent contractor. It's what jobs are you taking up, right? That just like, for example, I was watching something. What was it, Vlad? And the dude that was on there was saying that they killed thousands or millions of people in Iraq, right? But the dude always say that the war was for selfish reasons. So basically, what he say is, in so many words, is that the killing is in vain because it's for selfish reasons. So my thing is that if we looking at present future, like you asked, uh, happiness is there for you. But my thing is that you're gonna have to take a different route, especially with the cat and mouse game. You're gonna have to be a whole new you in order for you to really, truly, honestly. Because my thing is that the job that you're working has been so long, is almost to the point to where it's just like, why not just give up? Why not just leave it alone? And that's what I seen about, because if we doing a current and future two card draw, your current saying we need to get back to the drawing board, or we stuck at the drawing board. The future is love, peace, love, health, wealth, happiness. But I just think that you just need to go ahead and give up and stop playing, because I wish I can say more, but spirit already told me you know better. You just, maybe it's your sign. Maybe you just don't whatever. Maybe what is it called? Card? No, not cardinal. Uh, what is it called? Mute. I think it's called mute. Is it called mute? I don't know. I need to brush up on my charts. But uh long story short, some people don't like change. Some people will see something through. Some people will milk the cow dry, knowing that the cow dead. Knowing ain't nothing going on in that cow. You still trying to milk it. All right, y'all. So this is gonna be last call for alcohol. So yeah, so for the incognito request on the current and future, like I said, you do got a bright future. I think deep down inside you really are a good person. I just think that maybe some things happened to you and you went cold, and that's totally fine. I totally understand that, right? Some people go cold, some people go retarded. Ooh, wait. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Trauma does things to people, right? You can have a normal, what you would think is a normal, like me, for example. All my life, people looked at me like something I didn't see. I always was depressed all my life. I never even knew it. I was always depressed. I always suffered from low self-esteem. I always felt not good enough. And so it caused me to look at people as threats and not as whatever, potential threats and not potential friends. Because I was always comparing myself. I was always wondering, okay, man, this dude got some nice Jordans. You know, I wish I had some Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And when you get there and you do that, it creates a reality for you. So long story short, man, trauma affects different people in different ways. I already know that. The key is just because we are here doesn't mean we gotta stay here. Right? What Uncle Ruckus say? We niggas and that's all we ever gonna be. No, it doesn't have to be like that. Just because your mama was born in a hood and gang and this one and that one, church, right? All that. Your daddy and his uncle and yeah, that's cool. But at some point we gotta decide to break the chains. Especially because when we think these social gatherings and shit that we partake in is cool, which it is, but what's the spirit around the coolness? And what I mean by what's the spirit? Like, like when there is a social gathering, there's a spirit there, right? It's the egregor, whatever, but there's a spirit there, and the spirit is the reason why people is joining this function in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever you could join with people on things and whatever y'all linking up with, whether they know it or not, whether they know y'all linking up or whether they know it's not good, but whatever subject, reason, whatever y'all linking up for, and it's not in alignment with you, or it's not in alignment with certain people in a situation, shit gonna fail every single time. And the thing is that energy isn't linear. Energy is always moving. So that means that just like how a person can grind their way up to the top, people can slowly spin their way down to the bottom and don't even know it. People can spiral out, right? I mean, if you think about life, right? Whenever we moving forward, there's always something, right? Whenever we making progress, there's always something, right? For example, when you're a carpenter and you was charged to paint a room or something, Then sometimes you might have to take nails out the wall, right? Sometimes there's going to be things that might not be obvious or, that you might not sign up for initially in the beginning. But eventually, it got to get done one way or another. So it's always something. It's just like that in life, right? Whenever we're moving forward, right? Whenever we focused on our lover's card, right? Blissfulness, happiness, right? Good sex, money, all that good stuff. Whenever we focused here, there's always going to be something, right? Whether it's a flat tire, whether it's a weather delay on your plane ride, whatever it is in life, I can't promise you ain't nothing ever gonna happen, right? But you can have the right mind and temperament to deal with things. So as I go ahead and boogie on out of here, y'all, I just want to say that for the incognito read, if you still here, it says only one person now. Uh, like I said, for your current, what I'm saying for you for your current is switch paths. I think you know it. You might have even been thinking about it for a while. But go ahead and switch paths. Your current path ain't gonna get you there. Alright, so it's been an honor and a pleasure to be of service to you all. No, I won't really be nowhere else, but right here, right now, doing what I'm doing. So you know where I'm at this time. Share with me. Peace, love, hope, and love. Anything else, put it back on the shelf box, 'cause I ain't buying it, even not either.